Welcome back to another episode. This is Back to You. It's a platform where individuals that have a deeper understanding about themselves come together and talk about real shit. I have my guest today. Her name is Naya.
Hello,
Naya.
hello.
Okay, so we're gonna get into a few things today on this episode, but first I want to play a game. It's called Off the Dome. So basically, I'm gonna ask you a few questions, and you don't really have to say the first thing that comes off the top of your head, but just like answer it the best of your ability.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
So the first question is, if you had to leave your house in a case of an emergency, what's the first three things you would grab?
Okay. Well, I'm taking some money, of
Hmm.
course.
Smart.
I'm taking a device,
Like a phone or something?
a
Yeah.
phone, like an iPad, something that has Wi-Fi,
Yeah.
like a device. Um, and then of course I'm gonna grab some clothes.
Some clothes, really? I'm crying.
Like I'm gonna grab me a nice outfit,
That you can like that's gonna
shoes and
be,
all,
yeah.
clothes.
Okay, okay. That's a different answer. I never heard nobody say clothes before, but I get it. I do get it.
Maybe like, something to change into
Hmm.
if I need
Just
to.
like an extra change of clothes,
Yeah,
cause yeah, if you wearing the same thing, especially if you ain't got on the right stuff like pajamas or something.
I'm going for the clothes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Next question: what one meal for the rest of your life? What is that meal?
Mm. Well, because I like to eat.
Hmm.
So,
So this kind of hard.
yeah, like I really like to eat.
One meal. It could be a main dish, a side, a main dish, and two sides.
Main dish and two sides.
Hmm.
Okay.
You gotta eat that meal for the rest of your life.
Um, ooh, that's crazy. Because I'm like candy yams. Hold on. I
You
can't
gonna get
eat.
tired of them. You definitely gonna get tired
Not
of them.
all
Cause I
day.
like them
No.
too, but I can't eat them all the time.
Mm-mm. And see, at first I was gonna say some chicken pasta
Hmm.
with some vegetables in it. Every day for the rest of my life, I have to have some vegetables.
Last question. If you could live anywhere outside of the US, where would it be?
It would probably be, I would
Free.
say an island.
Hmm.
I would say an island.
Okay.
I would want to be by some water.
Okay. Okay. So we're gonna get into a few topics today. Um, I really the first question I want you to answer or just tell me about is your username, like Venetian, because I've been hearing, well, I've been seeing that word. I'm not necessarily sure like what it means or anything like that.
Venusian. Okay, so um, I really do appreciate like beauty and art
Hmm.
and love.
Hmm.
Like I love love. I'm a lover girl.
Hmm.
So, um I'm inspired by Venus because of my sign. I'm a Libra
Okay.
and Libras are ruled by Venus.
And is that the same planet that you get like your love qualities or like how you love or something like that? Is that Venus?
Right.
Okay.
It
So that's what made you gravitate more towards the word. You feel like that is a good word to express like your values and stuff.
yeah.
That's what's up. I like that. Okay. When we went hiking like a few weeks ago, you found out about two different ways, I guess, like two different pathways that the world could go through. I remember Cyberpunk, but I don't remember the other one. That
Solar punk.
Solarpunk. Oh,
Solar
okay.
punk.
So it's Solarpunk and Cyberpunk.
Solar punk, cyberpunk. There's a few others too.
Okay. So based on different things that's happened so far and like the time period that we in now, in your opinion, where do you think we're leaning more towards?
I think I think we're going more towards solar punk.
Okay, and then explain that for the people that don't know
I
what it is.
really like that's how I feel because it's a reality that's more so based on people being in touch with the earth
Hmm.
and people taking care of themselves with the earth and being sustainable and just doing all the right things, to get back in touch with, the world around them. And
Hmm.
it's not taking from it, but it's also taking care of it at the same time.
Yeah, like
So,
living harmoniously with it.
yeah.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
that. So that's
Yeah.
what solar punk was talking about, like how one of the pathways could be. Okay.
Right.
And the other one, cyberpunk, what was that one talking
So
about?
I was looking into it, and I
Hmm.
feel like it was a game,
Hmm.
and it was just like a alternate reality type of thing,
Hmm.
type of game.
Like
So
metaverse type of junk.
it's basically like more technology
What's
based.
that show when they was in the future? The Jetsons or something like
Yeah,
that? Yeah.
something like that. I mean, there are flying cars,
Hmm.
there's just more buildings, there's
Hmm.
more like high structures, and just I don't know how to explain it, but that's basically what it's like. And that the solar punk thing is more so like, you ever seen like an earth home?
Yeah, I was just watching a
Like,
video on YouTube about that.
yeah, it's like
They
more
look
of
so
those.
cool. Like building a so I just seen, them Indian men, they be building houses and junk.
Yes, out
That
of the
shit be
houses. I
so
mean, they
fly.
built the houses like out of sticks and
Yes.
raw
Mud,
materials. Like,
clay. I
that
just
is
seen that
amazing.
video.
I love
They built
that.
they built like a luxury type of villa with a pool in the front. I was just like they painted the bottom of the
Literally.
pool with like berries they found. It was just so cool. It's 2024 and in my opinion, I feel like it's a lot of shit that happened already and it's
Right.
still January. So, what do you think is like the collective theme for like everybody in this time period right now?
Mm.
Like, what do you see, like, either amongst your peers or amongst like people that you're around? Like, what's some just common themes you see just keep coming up?
I see a lot of people leaning more towards doing things that are helping them grow, in a sense. Like,
Facts.
things that make them happier,
Mm-hmm.
not just because other people are doing it, but taking advice, from other people and being open to learning, and just doing whatever is making them a better them. So
I definitely
that's
agree. In the book that I was reading that I always talk about, the Celestine prophecy, in my opinion, I feel like it's talking about what we're going through right now. But basically it was saying how the first step like everybody had to go through was basically like intense introspection. So like trying to really deeply understand who they are, like as a person. For a long time, I feel like the world was on autopilot, like for a long time. We were just
right,
going through the motions and stuff.
right. And it's like you're not just figuring out like why you're here, but who you are while
Hmm.
you're here.
Hmm. It's a funny thing that I do. I seen this like comedy, like stand up comedy, and this man was saying how when he goes to different countries and he asks somebody, "Who are you?" or like, "What do you like to do? Tell me about yourself." In
Mm-hmm.
other countries they don't attach themselves to their career. So like say
Mm,
if you ask somebody in America, how are you, tell me a little bit about yourself, you'd
yeah,
probably be like, hi, my name's John, I'm an architect or something like that. And it's like they didn't really ask you like what you did for a living, they asked you like, tell me
who
some
you
things
are.
about you.
Yeah,
So that was just like a funny thing that I started paying attention to now, like talking to
yeah,
other people and stuff.
yeah. No, that's real because like you are more than your money.
Hmm.
So it's like, who are you outside of what you do for work?
Hmm. And that's a hard question for people. It's me too, cause like when I haven't
Yeah,
seen somebody for a while, and then they ask me like, "So what you been up to?" Like, I don't know what to say. I don't
right,
know what to tell you.
right.
I have
This
my mind just
moment,
go blank.
right. Literally, I've been like in an interview
Hmm.
with like for a job,
Hmm.
and they'll ask me, "What do you do outside of work?" And I'll just be like, "Oh, okay." This is the part where I get to tell them about who I am. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I enjoy that. Like, I
Hmm.
like that.
That's good though. That means that you know that you are separated from like what you do like for a living. And it could
Yeah,
be you could either be separated from it or like if you're actually doing whatever it is you're passionate about. then like I guess you could
Yeah.
like attach yourself to it or something like if you was an artist.
That's kind of true.
Yeah.
That's kind of true.
But I
I
honestly,
could see that.
it's like I have previous perspectives about things and then I get introduced to something else that makes me kind of like think about it in a different way
Yeah.
because it was this one podcast episode from this girl and she was talking about how the artist needs to know how to separate themselves from the art. So
Mm.
it's like I get that, but I don't know because it's
Yeah.
hard to do that because it's like you were the creator of that, so it's like you're
Right.
so attached to that thing.
I mean that's another perspective. Like
Hmm.
that's a whole different perspective because when you do that for work, it has to be ways that you cannot do it and do something different
Mm,
outside of it.
I get
You
that.
know, because
Yeah.
like some people do get really attached to it to the point to where they think, sleep, eat, breathe it,
Hmm.
and it's like, okay, I had to do something different to kind of change up my palette, even to get inspired. I mean, I can see how, not being attached to it,
Mm.
is important, but it's like, that's my art.
Yeah. Like
Like,
I use my brain to think
I,
of this.
that's my art. Like, I made that. I just like produced it.
Hmm.
Like,
I mean,
wow.
and I know you're like really into the different arts and like just creative, you know, ways
Yeah.
to do stuff. So
Yeah.
like where do you kind of like fall between the arts?
Ooh. I do a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
Like I paint.
Mhm.
Um I don't really draw. Like I paint. I just like to paint abstract
Mhm.
type of art. And then I like to dance. I like to skate. I like to move sometimes.
Mhm.
And then I'm recently more into like digital designing.
Oh, really? Like digital art and stuff?
Mhm.
That's cool.
Digital art.
What made you get into that?
I used to do it a long time ago. Like I
Mhm.
used to make homecoming flyers for people
Oh,
at
okay.
school,
Yeah.
and then I just started playing around with the programs more and making more stuff.
Yeah, I love your edits on your videos. You know, it's not like how everybody else edits their videos and stuff. So I
Yeah,
like it. It's different.
yeah.
Um,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
So, like, do you do any art too?
Yeah, I have a lot of projects that I have planned to do, like just as far as exercising my creativity. So,
Right, right.
yeah, I love painting. I love moving my body as well, whether that be like exercising or yoga or like pole or just different stuff like that. I love gardening and just really like just anything to do with living from the earth, like like living naturally and stuff like that. I'm a very
Yes,
hands-on person and
yes.
I looked it up from my sign. I don't know which one it particularly went with or what planet, but I remember reading that because I have like some Taurus in my sign or in
Yeah,
my
what?
chart that I'm a very hands-on person and that's how I like that's my therapy.
Yes, I
Yeah.
would say that's very earthy.
Yeah.
That's very grounding and earthy.
Yeah.
I love that. Like I have Taurus in my chart too. It's like
Okay.
my moon sign. So I'm
Mine
like,
too.
I
So
love
yeah, we
Taurus.
probably similar in that way. Yeah.
Yes, I love the Taurus energies. That's why I'm all into like everything.
Mhm.
Like I have a lot of hobbies.
Mhm.
So it's like I like trying different stuff all the time. And then like you said, when you start to make money from it, you gotta like take a break sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, but essentially it is fun. It's very healing. Working with painting and different colors, like
Mhm. And even
that.
like your candle making, like that's something too.
Yes, yes. I even do the labels for that.
Oh, you
Like,
make them yourself too?
yeah, I even make the labels for my candles, and I take the time to like make the image of
Mm.
whatever I was visualizing
Oh, okay.
when I created the fragrance for the
Mhm.
candle. You know what I mean?
So it's like a deeper thought process than
Yeah,
just like manufacturing it like really
right,
quick or something.
right.
It's cool. I like that. But art
Yeah.
is very much therapy And no matter like it's so many different types of art out there and like so many different types of creatives. The people that I see, I be so amazed by like the people
Literally.
and what they be doing. I'm like, wow, like y'all are really cool. Like there's
Yeah.
some cool people out there. You included. You included. Like
Right.
it's some cool people out there.
Look, you too, because it really just takes time,
Mhm.
like to just have to put into it,
Mhm.
you know? But
And then
not
you
enough
just feel
time.
good too, like when you're actually going through the process of creating, like it feels
Yes.
good. I came across a video, I think it was either on TikTok or YouTube, one of them, but the girl, she was saying that we have to find other ways to celebrate our art other than like posting it on social media. Because she was saying how
Yeah.
we attach, like, say we created something and we post it on social media. When we finish
Hmm.
with it, it's like a debut or something, and it only gets like a certain amount of likes. And then you're
Hmm.
just like, well, dang, like, was it not that good? So
Right.
she was saying we got to find different ways to celebrate.
Yeah, we definitely do. I think about that all the time,
Hmm.
honestly. Like, I was just thinking about how we shouldn't share so much online.
Hmm.
Like, and actually normalize sharing it with people in real life. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, talking to
yeah.
people and telling them exactly, what it is that you just did. And it
That's
be
true.
normal. Like,
That's true.
like sharing good news with each other, you
Hmm.
know? I feel like that's okay in person.
It's more of a community type of feeling. Like you don't really feel so
Exactly.
alone when you do it like that. Because I would rather,
Exactly.
like, if you're posting this big accomplishment or whatever, and say you don't have as much outreach or engagement on your platform, that don't mean the significance of what you're doing is not good. Social media has done a lot of good, but it's also made a lot of stuff weird.
It has. It really has. It's like you can't share some things, you should share others. Like, I don't know. It's
Hmm.
like you can't. It is. I mean, you can't share certain things. You can't share everything,
Hmm.
but it's okay. When it's people that you actually know.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, because it's like that's how I be feeling. Like, I don't want to see everything. Like,
Mhm.
I have honestly unfollowed a lot of blogs.
Yeah,
I
for
have
sure.
unfollowed them because like I don't want to see everything.
For
Like, I don't
sure.
mind hearing good news,
Mhm.
but I don't want to see everything all the
Yeah, and then like I did the same thing last year, and I don't know why it took me so long to do it. Maybe I thought I was gonna miss out on something, but
time.
you
Yeah.
don't. Once you unfollow that shit, you realize you're not missing nothing. You
No.
like, and you when you hear like other people talking about certain things, and y'all, you just
I'll
like,
be like, huh?
what that got
I
to do with what the fuck I got going on?
yeah. Yeah, and it's like, don't get me wrong, like blogs like talk about local things
Mhm.
like ATL Scoop.
Mhm.
I appreciate that,
Yeah.
but like when it's stuff that's not even true
Mhm.
sometimes, and then you got everybody just hooked on it. It's
Just
like,
building up this big lie. I feel like, man, I don't know. Something about it to me, I feel like it's done purposely because once you
hmm,
get enough people thinking about the same thing, I
right,
feel like it manifests itself. Even if
right,
it wasn't true before, you just made it true because like it's thousands of people now with this same scenario in their head and like you're
right.
manifesting it. That's why I had to look into the video that I was doing about all the different movies and stuff that's coming out talking about the end of the world and all that junk. And I had to
Mhm,
really see that junk for what it
mhm.
was.
They're crazy.
But a lot of the things that we see, like, in the 3D, like a lot of them are owned by the same families for the most part. It's this page that I follow, and he breaks down like, say he'll go to the grocery store and he will take a picture of the aisle, like say the aisle is pads and tampons and stuff,
Hmm,
and then he will show you what like, even though the names and the brands are different, they're all owned by the same corporation.
right.
So it
That's
was like,
crazy.
yeah. And then when you see the stuff, a lot of the stuff is giving you the illusion that you have like a whole bunch of different options to choose
Choices.
from, but they're really the same company, just
Right,
different labels and shit. And
right.
when I seen that, I was like, damn, that's kind of crazy, honestly.
That is crazy. Especially when the brands get bought out
Bro, I
by
hate
different,
that junk.
like Aunt Jemima is now
Pearl Milling
per
Company.
meal.
But you know, okay,
Yeah.
it's crazy that you said that because I literally just watched. I won't say just watched the video, but maybe like a couple weeks ago, I watched a video of where Aunt Jemima came from
Where
and
exactly? Where
the
did that come from?
Pearl Milling Company. So basically, I can't remember exactly off the top of my head, but they used to have these things like back in slavery times and
Hmm.
after slavery when it was like segregation and stuff, and the white people didn't have the slaves anymore to like cook for them or whatever. So they had this perfect pancake mix. And it was slave in a box at first. It was called slave in a box. So it because it was like it would give you these
That
per
is crazy.
it would give you these
Wait.
perfect pancakes like as if, your slave
Wow.
was cooking them, and now you don't have the slaves anymore, so you can do it yourself basically. So that's why they got the like Aunt Jemima character to put
Right.
on the box. Of course, after
Oh,
time went on, they
right.
couldn't have it like slave in a box, so they created Aunt Jemima,
That
and I
is just
think they
insane.
just changed it back to Pearl Milling Company because that's who's the founder of it. So they didn't really change it for real. They
They
just took
didn't
off
change
the
it.
Aunt
They
Jemima and went back to Pearl
wow.
Milling Company.
They are crazy.
Yeah. The only reason why they changed the Aunt Jemima name is because like people were like getting mad, like, oh, this is racist, blah 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 blah.
Hmm.
Not really knowing Pearl Milling Company is like the owner of that. So it's really just all the same thing,
They're still gonna
basically.
get money from it
Yeah.
being their own company
Yeah.
anyways. Like
Yeah.
that
Don't
is
matter if they
crazy.
change it for real or not. Talking about American history is so it's
Crazy.
weird. But honestly, I feel like we're moving into a better time period. Okay, this is one thing. I'm gonna finish off with this point. I want you to hit on it too. But they were saying how our parents and their parents were so focused on teaching us obedience that they really wasn't teaching us about the world.
Yeah.
So they were saying now we're
Hmm.
in a period of we like, hold on, that don't make sense. Like you said this is what, and then we looking into it and we realize that shit ain't true, or this is really this. Because okay, well no, I want you to hit on it first before I say the next part. Like, do you agree with that?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot of stuff we haven't been taught about the world and how the
Mhm.
world operates.
Mhm.
So it takes longer to like understand and learn.
Yeah. And our parents and their parents, they definitely did grow up in a different world, so they had to worry about so much other shit. So like especially our grandparents, they had to worry about just like surviving and probably had a lot of stuff on their brain. They didn't even have a chance to figure out like who they
Right.
were and what's really going on and stuff. But now it led us up to this time period now. We're seeking the knowledge, like we want to know.
Yeah. Like we have the opportunity to like learn more about ourselves and not have to like rush and get money.
Mhm.
But we're given the opportunity to also make money
Mhm.
easier
Mhm.
and like quicker.
Mhm.
Like they didn't have the technology we had, they didn't have a lot of things, and it was like without even knowing, it's like, okay, I'm just going to work,
Yeah.
making my money, and
Yeah.
I'm living my life. Like
Mhm.
they probably weren't digging that deep because they were living, kind of
Yeah.
surviving at the same
Survive. Yeah,
time.
they wasn't living, they were surviving for sure. I
Yeah.
definitely get that. One of the things that, because I was saying how you realizing different things that they saying is not really true. I literally just watched a video before you came, and it was talking about like the internet and how I always thought the internet works because of like the satellites in space or whatever, but the internets are really powered from like underground.
It is.
Yeah, and I
It
was like,
is.
"What?" They really try to make it seem like they're I don't want to say hiding something. I mean, I know they hiding stuff for real, but the way that they put so much emphasis on the sky, like basically, for example, like your stuff is in the cloud, or just like the
That's
satellites, like
true.
in the movies, like say if they knock a satellite down, the whole power grid is out or whatever. But it's like,
Right.
damn, if that's not even true because the internet is in the fucking ground, like
Right.
it's coming from the ground.
No, like I was just about to say that about the movies and stuff.
Mhm.
Like growing up, you will always see in cartoons, you
Mhm.
would see them have satellites in the space
Mhm.
or anything like that. Like it will always be in the sky.
Mhm.
So you would think that okay, the internet and all of the technology and stuff is
Yeah.
running above us. It's
Yeah.
not, you know, it's like literally built in the grounds that we're walking on.
Mhm.
Like
And in the video, she was saying how they're in like the ocean floor, like between
that
different.
too.
Yeah.
I've been seeing a lot of buildings being built in the water. Like I see a lot of videos like that.
Really.
I'm like, how do y'all get that deep in the water to secure
And man, they really.
the infrastructure?
I feel like the internet is backfiring on like whoever made the shit so corrupt and everything because
Yeah,
you're able to research the shit that don't make sense because it's like
exactly.
okay, for this is what I was about to say, the internet being in the ground, right? Like on the ocean floor. You know, like how they saying a lot of the ocean hasn't been discovered. But like if it's a whole bunch of like different pipes and cords and lining and shit at the bottom of the ocean floor that connects between the continents and shit. Like y'all know what's down there for real. Y'all just don't want to tell
Exactly.
nobody because y'all would have to
Exactly.
do some type of something to be able to on the ocean floor. You know how deep that junk is? That's very
Unless
deep.
it's not as deep as they're telling us it is.
Yeah, true, true.
Because only they are saying how deep the ocean
Yeah.
floor is. We just not going down there
Yeah.
because
And they were saying NASA was created originally for explorations in the
in the
ocean.
water. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. I heard of that too. You know,
Yeah.
I've researched that too. Like and then it's the whole flat earth thing. It's
Mhm.
like if y'all are exploring, you know, the land and y'all are exploring the waters, it's been a lot of research that's been developed
Mhm.
over time. And we know that y'all have been changing things, you
Yeah.
know, as far as like their logos and just like you look at their logos and it actually meant something back then differently from what it means now, but they're telling you something different over time that it means
Mhm.
this, that, and the third. And it's like, you know,
Yeah.
as a, you know, it's like those are things that I have researched
Yeah.
about it.
Like
So it's
y'all not
like,
slick.
y'all are not slick.
Like we're catching on now for sure. You know, it was this one point in time where they were talking about it was either the United States or somebody wanted to ban TikTok. And I was like,
Mm,
y'all niggas know y'all fucked up. That's why.
exactly.
Cause I be learning
Exactly.
so much stuff. Like it's crazy to say, but I be learning so much stuff from TikTok. Like,
TikTok has everything.
bruh.
TikTok has everything, and it's even crazier that it's a lot of people around the world connected on TikTok now.
Mhm.
Like you can't even do that on Instagram.
Mm-mm.
You can't.
You
It's
can't
not the
it's yeah,
same.
it's not the same
It's
at
not
all.
the
It's not
same.
even the same feeling like when you're
Mm-mm.
going on Instagram versus when you're going on TikTok. It's like when you're going on TikTok, it's like a surprise. Like
Yeah,
I
like
could get I could get anything. Like I could learn how to a new recipe. I can learn like something about
oh my goodness,
history. Like
it really is because you never know what's gonna pop up
mhm.
on the TikTok.
I
That's
love that.
crazy. That's so true.
Well, I feel like this
That's
was
so true.
a great episode. We hit on a lot of topics. This is my friend Naya again. Y'all follow her. I'm gonna put her Instagram above her.
Please. Okay.
And stay tuned for another episode. We drop episodes every Monday, and that's back to you.